let go of fragmentation. That creates purnatva, completeness. So now you can see the universe in its true sense. Otherwise, we are seeing everything in a fragmented state. So,
Yeah, so actually the consciousness is not fragmented. It is the mind which is taking a portion or reflecting a portion of consciousness and making it look like it is fragmented.
correct. See, the first and foremost, knowing that there is consciousness itself is an achievement.
Yeah, in experience, actually, yes.
Yes, so now I don't think so. In this group, what we have, except you, on that day when you experience that awareness, anybody else has truly understood what is awareness.
Yeah, that's a totally different feeling, yes.
Until that happens, no matter how much we debate, it still look fragmented.
Hmm.
See, your questions have ended for some time now because that day you persisted asking me how to do, and then I told you this is how to do, and somehow you got it. Now you can't demonstrate to somebody like this is what I did, and now I'm able to see it, right?
Yeah, correct, that's true.
And if you compare that experience versus the earlier experience, that is totally different.
Yeah, that's true. That's why my questions are all ended.
Now, that one in this group, nobody has experienced. Now, what do I do?
Yeah, I think you have to keep on hitting, and then one day something will open up. I still don't remember a word of what you told me that day.
But you
That
experienced.
yeah.
And that is what is required. See, what I told on that day was that
Hmm.
you have to become like that light in the room
Mm.
where table and chair and let us say bed and cot and even it is not cleaned or whatever it is, it's lighting. Can you see your body and breath and everything in that way?
Mm. Yes, in the awareness, yes.
If you can, then you have achieved what is to be achieved right now,
Mm.
because everything is created out of that awareness only, including the mind's ability to think or
Mm.
conceptualize, create an idea, opinion, thoughts, and all of that is part of that only. But now, let us say you disconnect that. Let us say that awareness is no longer available. Now, what happens? It becomes fragmented now. Now, you will say the table is dirty or that is not okay. It should have been done this way because this is now at the level of the mind. So, mind always has duality. Yeah, somebody spoke something.
Mm.
Anyway,
No.
no.
Okay.
So mind always wanders around two poles. One it likes, another one it doesn't like. These are two poles. It keeps on going. So the world is also created by duality because then only it works. If you have a singularity while mind is duality or mind is singularity and world is duality, it will not work. There's no world. So Jagat goes away. And if it is the world is singular and mind is dual, it doesn't work again. So when we say world and mind, they both are dual, and that's the reason it works beautifully. It's like hand in glove. You can't differentiate between the hand and the gloves.
Mm.
It looks the same. Good morning, Padmashri.
Morning, Vilas. Morning, everyone.
Yeah. So
Morning, Padmashri.
this
Morning, Padmashri.
yeah, this morning what I was discussing with Lata before you arrived is that we have only experienced fragmented situations and fragmented life. At not even one point we have experienced the completeness. So I was telling her that I doubt whether people here in this group have at all experienced something called as awareness. So one Saturday she had a question when I think Shriyar also joined at the time.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
And then I explained to her that just like a light in a room does not care about what is there in the room, whether the bed is there or it is cleaned or the table or this and that, it lights everything. Can you be able to see your body and the breath in that way? If you can do that, then you are done what you are supposed to do at this moment. And from then onwards, you can stay in that awareness forever. It will go away because it is not established one. So you have to keep on hitting on that, and that is called as prajna, wisdom, actually, and that is the vidya, knowledge. So the mind loses its hold over consciousness, and consciousness establishes itself independently of the mind, and that's a different experience. So that day Lata picked up. I don't know, she didn't continue that, but if she were to continue it, it would have been better, because that is how we need to see every moment. So till that happens, it's only intellectual, because intellect is part of the mind. So mind pulls itself towards what it can understand. It can understand fragment. So there is dispute between what is said by one person and whether it is the right one said by another person, and it wants to lean on something which it feels comfortable. So this is an habitual tendency of the mind. So it gets fragmented. So all our living life is fragmented. We are fragmented by school and college and people expectations, and then the jobs and the family. So we lead different lives for different people, meaning to say that we wear different kind of dress for different people, and we are not at all the same at any two instances. We depend solely on the situation which is coming in, and we camouflage, or we have learned the art of camouflaging. The more we camouflage, the better you are called in the society. So that is called as a good managed person, because he is able to camouflage. So yesterday somebody was there at my home, and I was telling how Americans do it, this camouflaging. So when I used to jog, and if I were to wave hand at another person and you say, "Hey, how are you doing today?" And if I were to tell him that I'm not doing that well, he would run away from that scene. And because he believes that I'm going to say that I'm doing pretty fine, so he would answer back. So basically, we have learned the art of pretending, which is fabrication. And that fragments the person, because he is not the same person. So with every person, he will become different and doesn't stay to his personality, because he doesn't know what his personality is in true sense. So that creates this karma. And Bhatt's question yesterday in Karma Kanda is this, that we want our karma to work. My karma, whatever I want to do, should work. So then I will do all those activities which then gives me whatever I need to be doing. as part of that karma. But you wanted to know something on karma. Can you elaborate? Because yesterday, before you left, you spoke about it, and then after that, we continued for some more time on different thing. And even though I heard that video where you spoke about it, I am not able to correctly put it. What exactly you wanted to know on karma kanda?
Yeah, see, I have given the analysis. We are spending maximum time in Mithya Loka. That is starting from our education system till we retire. We are doing something. Everything is Mithya only. We are dealing with the Mithya. There is nothing we are doing in the spiritual line. Okay, except this kind of some discussion that only very small percentage of people do it. So, which means that we are in the study and earning mode. And we have gone through so many hundreds, thousands of lives so far. But we are in the stage of still in the early stage. Because there are a lot of things to achieve. If you go through this Yoga Sutra, you have from the starting itself till reach your eighth limb to reach that dhyana and samadhi and all that. We are still discussing in the first one or two steps. My question was why we are like this and who is responsible for this. You responded, I know. And why so many thousands of life is gone in this. And now we have very short life. This life is something like maximum is maybe 80 years or something for active life. After that it will be very tough for any achievement. And in that, a lot of things already gone in this so-called study and professional life. The remaining time, is it really possible to achieve that, which we could not achieve in so many thousands of lives? That was my question.
See, if you...
And then, see, you are all these discussions so far. If you put your effort, you will go to that realized stage. And you give example of now Lata's experience and also your past 2 years interactions here. So, is it that with the moment you understand and the moment you practice, you will go to the realized stage so easily? After spending so many thousands of lives, is it something practical we are discussing, or again this is also mithya? We are thinking that is satya. What is the guarantee that that is real satya? No. And how to achieve really that satya? Do you need another 1,000 lives?
No, thing is like this, but your question is apt.
I am extrapolating whatever, based on, just extrapolated, I am thinking, is it really possible to achieve? If it is so.
You are achieving it every day. Each one of us. By the end of the day, you are achieving it. That's for sure. It's not that it's going to take lifetimes. You are achieving it every day. Tonight also you'll experience it. So what else you want to experience?
See, what experience we are doing, that is called mithya now. Experience means our thought process.
No, in the night.
And our goals.
Agreed.
Everything is mithya.
Correct. And the satya is opened up in the night for you. What more do you want to experience? You answer me that question. That answers everything of your question now.
Now we are talking about liberation.
Correct.
Liberation now we have not achieved.
No, liberation you are achieving from the mind every night.
That happens because of nature, not because of my prayatna.
Whatever it is.
I am talking about in Jagrata Avastha, getting into that stage.
No, that is correct. But what I am telling you is, you can go by what nature is providing you. Or rather, what is nature?
Yeah, there is no doubt about sahaja, whatever happens. Sunrise, sunset, sleep, and going to that deep sleep mode and enjoying that. All that fully agreed. That experience is there. I am asking about when you are in Jagrata Avastha, achieving that.
You just have to look back and see how you are doing a deep sleep, and that's all.
See, the thing is, I cannot see my past so many lives. I know only this. After age of maybe 5, 6, slowly started remembering, and then initial period is all gone in that, understanding this world through science, technology, and all that, and then dealing with the people. I have not experienced. See, we are putting a lot of effort. Effort is there. Now effort is there. It may not be systematic the way what you are putting it, but we are not reaching there. See, your topic of discussion today morning is also same thing. Okay, maybe out of 1 lakh, maybe 1 or 2 will reach to realized, and moksha is something even beyond that. Here I have a whole architecture of the whole thing. Now somebody has architected this. Okay, that Shunya or Purnatva has architected this one. But here I have that basic doubt now.
Okay, who has created it? Your Vasana has created all of this.
Yeah, my Vasana, my mind, my Chitta and all that, yes. Its thinking is that. There I am able to very clearly understand.
So
But this is one thing, realization. I am not able to really understand that.
Okay, now realization is...
Because my experience says that the people who have really achieved that, Trikala Jnani, I was using the word in the past few days. That means that person, when he talks about past, present, future, when he gives something to us, then yes, it is a belief for us. Yeah, yes, this person has done something. Yes, possible. So, but that is not the realization. That is just a small part of realization. He will get that knowledge and he will just talk. That's a small part. The real part of realization is really he is experiencing that. I am talking about the Jagrata Avastha, experiencing that. You can give me direct answer how to do that.
Stop the story. You are there. That's the answer. 1 line answer if you want me to give you. Stop the story making and you are there. You will come to the Shushupti stage in Jagrata Avastha, which is Turiya. That's all. 1 single line answer. Story is created in the mind, not in the consciousness.
Correct.
So be that, that's all. Be that consciousness and then that's all. You are in the 4th state.
Drop the story.
Drop all stories. There is no real story because in sleeping, in deep sleep, there is no story. Put that in waking state, finished. And this one, what you sent about Shankaracharya by Shatabdani Ganesh, he talks about that. Shankaracharya is the only Hindu saint who showed what is Shushupti. And realization is something that you have just put fabrication in your mind. It truly doesn't exist. That is realization. Liberation is bringing the 4th state, that is the Shushupti state, in the waking state. So stop the story. You are there. Very simple. And that is the reason Shankaracharya's philosophy is so wonderful. It is practical. It doesn't have dogmas. It doesn't have opinions. It doesn't have anything to do with you believe in me or you believe in that God, I will give it to you and all that. That is stupidity.
Is it this? Don't do anything. In the true sense of don't do anything.
Yes, you have to see you are continuing doing something because of prarabdha. Okay, that is you have to earn for living, you have to eat food. You are basically bringing to that. Okay, now I am born in this world, so I have to eat food. I have to take care of myself. I have to take a bath. I have to brush my teeth and dress well. Enjoy the comfort what is given by nature. And due to good karma, you have a good home and family and all of that. That is good. Appreciate that rather than rejecting it.
Is it because of the prarabdha karma, the practice is impacted.
See, the thing is, yes, it is impacted
Because
because
some vigna comes. That's the reason you have to clear your prarabdha.
no, that's
Clearing prarabdha is nothing but you are in that
see,
realization or
yes,
sushupti stage.
correct. So the cleansing process, chitta shuddhi, is to cut out the prarabdha karma to appearing as agami karma in the later. Okay. So having understood that you have karma itself is an achievement. In that, understanding that there is a prarabdha, sanchita, and agami is another achievement. And stopping the sanchita and agami is another achievement. Having done that, observing what is happening in nature is another achievement. After knowing what is happening in the nature, understanding the Shushupti state is another achievement. After understanding the Shushupti state completely, getting rid of the fabrication of the mind, meaning to say, all the relationship end during deep sleep. That is the reality. So that is the other things from the Jagrata Avastha, what we do right now is a fabrication. It's not truly existing there. So staying in that state and just doing your work because you have to pass your time in the samsara is liberation. Because now you are in the fourth state all the time. For which all the five senses have to be shut down one by one. And only consciously it has to be watched. Sound as sound, taste as taste, something like that.
So you are in the middle of time and space, and with this exercise, you are telling that you are not connected with that.
Yes, you are.
That means time is nothing but that the sun rotating and that coming around and all that. That is what time. Now you are making everything as present, nothing past, nothing future.
Absolutely.
Everything is present, and you are sitting in this so-called this earth with gravitational power and with all that panchabhuta. You are completely disconnecting. That means you have dropped both manas and body in your
Chitta.
So-called inner chitta. Yeah.
Correct.
And that stage is realization is what you are telling.
Correct. That means mind and consciousness will be seen separating out.
Yeah, see, my question was that this is there around us. Time and space is that around us. That's a prarabdha then? Because of prarabdha it is there?
It is part of karma. Maybe prarabdha, maybe
No, karma is what we are doing. See, prarabdha is nothing but because of something it is there in front of you now.
Correct.
You have to face it. You have to go through that. Now you are trying to cut the prarabdha, isn't it?
Nah, I don't know how intellectually you put that much complex it becomes. See, there is something called as prarabdha, which you are bringing it as a brought forward from earlier births. Okay. If prarabdha cannot be changed, then there is no liberation, there is no thing called as realization.
Yeah.
You got the point?
Yeah, we have to change, agreed.
Okay. Now, what is this change? Observing what nature is providing you. Nature is like this. When we say nature, not the nature as Prakriti. Nature as in the sense of Purusha and Prakriti taken into consideration. Purusha is the light, like the sun. It does not make any distinguishing between a weed and a flowering plant. So the mind should be get rid of the weed as something bad and flowering plant as something good. This is the first step. This is what needs to be observed. When we see the sun, it does not worry whether the shade is there, whether it is water body is there, whether something else is there, weed is there, flowering plant is there, tulsi is there, medicinal plant is there, or it's a barren ground. It does not distinguish. That is consciousness. So what we need to see is there is something like this sun in everyone. So that is the first level of practice we need to see, because that is what we can find in nature.
Hmm.
One. Two, no matter whatever relationship, whatever identity, whoever creates, in deep sleep that is not there. This is a second
Correct.
realization. This is again in the nature. Consciousness is there, but the Prakriti is not there. The person doesn't even know who he is. So what we can infer from this, that when consciousness is shining pure and bright, no other state is possible. That you are experiencing it every day. Everyone is experiencing it every day. Without distinction, we are experiencing it. What's the third step? Considering that the sun is not doing any distinguishing between this and that, considering that the Shushupti state will take you to non-existence of yourself, we have to now work out on why am I considering I existing now. That is how the prarabdha can be tuned, so that the agami karma and the sanchita karma are taken care. So I will not do those activities which will give me the sanchita and the agami karma. Now I have taken, prarabdha means I have taken birth, and the body which is come to me, majorly prarabdha consists of the body, the physical sheath or the annamaya kosha, and the pranamaya kosha is part of the prarabdha karma. Manomaya kosha spreads itself from the from the prarabdha karma to the sanchita karma and the agami karma. Because intellect, and that is the vijnanamaya kosha and anandamaya kosha, is based upon punya phala, so it again forms part of the prarabdha karma. That means manas will have all the three, prarabdha, sanchita and agami, and manas also will have all the three states, past, present, future. So if anything that can be done between space and time dimension or past, present, future, it can be done only in the mind. It cannot be done in the annamaya kosha, nor can be done in the pranamaya kosha or vijnanamaya kosha or anandamaya kosha. That is not possible. So basically using the intellect, which is going on the wrong direction of creating more karma, the mind which has this intellect, looking at what is happening in the nature, that is, sun doesn't distinguish between anyone, moon doesn't distinguish between anyone, earth doesn't distinguish between anyone or anything. Why am I distinguishing then? Because I am standing against the nature. So here is what I am going to do. I am going to stop distinguishing. To stop distinguishing, what comes as a hurdle is raga and dvesha. So I need to do vairagya to cut this raga and dvesha. Because if I see the sun, it doesn't have raga and dvesha. It doesn't shine because it wants to heat somebody and cool somebody. If there is cloud, it doesn't come out. It is there, but it is covered by the cloud. If the cloud is not there, sun shines beautifully. Similarly, consciousness is not bothered about mind is clouded or it is pure. It shines irrespective of whatever it is. And during dissolution, which is the Shushupti state, all relationships and everything are gone. What is Turiya? Is to establish this state in the waking, which is cutting out all the story, because in deep sleep there was no story, there was no husband, there was no wife, there was no children, there are nobody to take care, there is nothing was available. So how it becomes available in the waking state? It's wrong. It's a fabrication of the mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to only do the kriya than the karma. So I have to take care of my parent, I'll take care of my mother-in-law, I'll take care of my wife and all son and all that. I'll still take care, knowing very well that Shushupti can happen at any time to anyone, and that machine will stop working. So it is not connected, it's not dependent, it becomes independent, and consciousness has always been independent. In that way, we are modifying the prarabdha karma. Did I properly answer or confused it more than what it was?
You answered also. I got one. It was nicely answered. I also got one thing. We got so many janmas. I don't know what janma we had earlier. This in Manava janma we got because of our positive prarabdha karma, right?
Correct.
Because we have one escape route from here to moksha.
Correct.
Yeah, I think when you say that combination of these two, yes.
Yeah, so now animals or birds or insects or whatever cannot make out this nature. They just do what is their primary nature. Humans also do the primary nature, but they can also see what is really happening.
Yeah, see, now it's maybe a stupid question. See, this is all realized long back in our history, Ramayana, Mahabharata up to now. So many great kings came, they ruled, and they knew this very much. Purushartha, Dharmartha, Kama, and finally Moksha. Fully understood. But why the system was made in that direction? Why, the Vidya taught to us everything is for, maximum is for living, not for Moksha. It's only for you be there in prarabdha and create more prarabdhas, more karmas. Why none of these kings, great, so-called great people, have not practiced that at a much higher scale? See, what we do now, something is good, we always scale it up. But that is not visible anywhere. You can say only here, there, somebody is getting moksha, like great Munis, either Ramana Maharshi or Vivekananda or somebody. Why it is not given to the public as education? Because education is always for maximum for living only, earning money, vittam, and then finally dhanam.
Okay, very good question. Yeah, the underlying aspect is the samskara. Now you can't ask me how samskara gets created because of karma. Again, we are going in circle. See, world is this illusion only. That's the reason mithya is used. The relationship bonding which is there is what creates all of this. And as a child, that's what I see. So there is no way I can see anything more than what I can see. Now the question comes, why was I born? I was born because of the samskara. It really, what I can say, it matched to where I should be born. Now, right now also, but we are doing samskaras, we are doing karma, and we are trying to exhaust the vasana. Even now, are we willing to invest the little bit of life left into liberation? No, because we have craving for living.
Yes.
So that will not
what
go.
Is happening.
Yeah, that will not go. Even if you had this as within your education system, which was there even before English and the Islam and all that came, it was there, but that didn't mean that all the people who were in India were all realized people. No, Gurukul system was there. It introduced to them Upanishad and this and that, but they got married, right? Knowing very well. Let's take the present day system. There are people like my son who studies medicine. They have seen the naked bodies. They cut open, and my son has seen. And all the doctors who are there, they have seen hundreds and thousands of feminine bodies, hundreds and thousands of masculine bodies. In that case, they shouldn't have married, right? Actually speaking, forget the old timers. New, right now, as we speak. They see body day in, day out. They cut the body. They see that there is nothing there except for filth. There is absolutely nothing. It smells horrible. But does that bring them to realization? No. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of doctors. And we have thousands of nurses. World taken together, if we put a view, the medicine field is around 32%. So
But that
32%.
is the Maya we are living in, right?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
the Maya has happened due to craving. It's see they're seeing the naked body all the time. So why they should marry? They know exactly what is coming from there. And in this COVID life, the body is also not given back to the family. They're seeing that, and that doesn't open up their eyes, saying that okay, this is what is true life is all about. They don't see it. This is called Maya. What else is Maya? And on top of that, when a person goes to sleep, he does not remember anything, but still there is Maya. Say, tomorrow I'll wake up. That's again craving. So, craving is the cause for existence. If there was no craving, there is no existence. Who is craving? The mind is craving for existence. So, I exist. It doesn't matter whether I had 100 lives, 1000 lives, or I had only one life. Do I believe in rebirth, not believe in rebirth? That is again mind made. There is rebirth, is one mind made. There is no rebirth, is another mind made. The basis of everything is the craving. So, are we willing to get out of craving? Craving for family, craving for comfort, craving for job, craving for everything, eating, sleeping, breeding, all that is craving only. Are we willing to do that? If the answer is no, we take rebirth. Because Shushupti is the state where you see dissolution happening. That is real. None of us can remember when we sleep what we were. And that is the reality of Turiya. If we were to bring it. Don't have story. In the night there is no story. In the morning also there is no story. Story is created in the mind. Cut out the story. Just be. No story. Finished. See, we talk about God. Let's take that as an example. Let's talk about puja or all the kind of rituals we perform, including Gayatri or this or that, Sandhya Vandanam and the all of that karma kanda things. In the night, a sinner also sleeps the same, a saint also sleeps the same, a pujari also sleeps the same, an atheist also sleeps the same, a theist also sleeps the same. I don't think so. Anybody, just because he is praying God, will sleep differently, and a person who doesn't pray God will sleep differently. They both sleep in the same way. They don't remember anything of whatever has happened. A theist will have to forget all about God when he sleeps. Otherwise, he can't sleep. A atheist also have to forgo his idea about what he thinks is God or no God, whatever he calls, and yet sleep. An intellectual person also sleeps the same way. A foolish person also sleeps the same way. A criminal also sleeps the same way. Everybody sleeps the same way. No doubt. And a vegetarian also sleeps the same way, and non-vegetarian also sleeps the same way. This religious person will sleep the same way, that religious person will sleep the same way. So it doesn't matter. That's the reality. So two things we can see. the nature, that sun and moon and rain and water and all of this, what is presented in Veda, they are unbiased. If you are unbiased, you liberated. If I am biased, oh, well, like people ask, did Buddha believe in the Vedas? It doesn't matter whether he believed or he did not believe, he abused or he didn't abuse, he got liberated. That is main important thing. Did so and so liberate or not? What is our problem? If he has understood Shushupti, he is liberated. If he has not understood the Shushupti, he is not. That's the yard of success. One who goes into Shushupti can never remember what he did there. Just like when we sleep, we don't remember. So one way go to Turiya state and stays there cannot remember anything. Because mind doesn't exist to remember. So how will we explain this to someone through intellect or through five senses? Not possible. Very simple. Any questions? So the
You have answered my question.
yeah, sure. So the practice is to stay in Shushupti. And the obstacles are Yama and Niyama not being there. And you will not be in Shushupti in waking state because there is no Vairagya. So Vairagya is the starting point.
Yeah, see, you made the beginning of this discussion a comment that you could give some tips to Lata, and that weekend she was in that stage.
Correct.
Okay, and it was a great. Then the continuation happened or not is not clearly known, but you expected that to continue. In other cases, people want to get into that, but they have not reached. Is there anything? Suddenly something happened to Lata, or it's because of her practice and intellectual understanding finally getting into practice happened? Because on that Saturday it happened, you said, after one interaction.
Yes. So
then
maybe,
why not for others?
Maybe she should explain an answer.
Yeah.
I don't want to become an interpreter for Lata when she is there.
So actually, I was not sure what I was looking for. So and anyway, it is like for so many years I'm trying to find out what needs to be done, how it has to be reached, what practices we have to do, and somehow I've been exploring and trying to do different things. Even whatever Vilas says or something which I read or hear from somewhere else. So I was trying to do practice in different ways, and what I read only is experiences of the people of whoever it is, CM or Swami Rama, or but they don't write what practices they do. And I have been always wanting to know what are these practices they are doing, and it is nowhere mentioned in any of the books you read. So nowadays I am getting books where it has practices mentioned, but then earlier when I was trying, I was not getting. So that's when I was behind Vilas to find out what kind of practices we need to do. So and I've been also trying to do this for without knowing it is kind of an awareness meditation or anything. I was just trying to do this for some time now. Some at least some 3-4 months I was trying to do without knowing this is awareness meditation. And I was not sure whether I am able to do it, whether it's the right way of doing it. I had asked many questions to Vilas, but I think he was not, maybe he also did not understand what I am trying to ask at that point of time. And he said that that way it will not work, and you have to do body contemplation and this and that, and then only it will work. So And that Saturday, I don't even remember what I asked Vilas, what I was wanting to know. I think I was telling that what is it that is blocking me? That is what I asked this question to Vilas. And then he told me something which I actually don't remember. But then for the next 4 days, I don't know. Somehow I got that, how it has to be done. So whenever I was doing that for that 4 days, it was like a full time blissful feeling. And it is without anything, you are always feeling blissful. So how I got it, I don't know. But only thing I can say is I have been trying and trying and trying and trying hard, and then trying to find out what exactly it is and so on. So it somehow it at that point of time it clicked. So it has to come from within, or some as a what do you say, bulb coming up or whatever. So it has just come at that point of time. So after that I have not done. So I have now, I know that I have understood what exactly it is, but afterwards I did not do it. I know that if I try it, I can still do it. And I actually did it when in the last he gave Vilas was giving an assignment, right? So you have to try for 3 days and so on. So I did it for 2 days, and it was still possible to be done. So I still did only for 2 days and then left it. The third day I did not do. So how it comes, I have no clue. Probably I have done this earlier in my earlier life also. And that's why I was searching for that, and I have lost it. Maybe I was searching for it and there was some trigger needed. So it came. So I don't think it will just like that come if you have not done some kind of practices before. So and after that, whatever has happened, then there is a lot of kind of realization happens. So that is the reason I was asking Vilas whether it is kind of intellectual realization. What's the difference between the experience and the actual intellectual experience? So then some revelations will come spontaneously if you are watching something. Then you any simple thing. I was just watching one tree in the backyard. In our backyard there is the curry leaves tree is there. So it has grown big. So in the evening, the sunlight will fall on it. So I will just look at it, and then you will get some kind of realizations, how it happens, and not in respect to the actual sun and the curry leaves and all that, but then the spiritual realization. Some things will come like that. So like that, I was observing one day is when I understood why the sages are fearless. So I was just watching. So if you go simply sit, watch something, then you get that realization coming. So this started happening after I was able to do that awareness meditation for some time. So I know that I have to do it every moment, but I am not doing. But then at least I am remembering almost all the time. Whether I'm doing it or not is a different thing, but at least I'm remembering it. It has to be done. So another time is when I was lighting the gas, and then I was cooking something. Then also suddenly it came to me what is getting cooked, who is cooking it, and so on and so forth. It just flashed. So, and I was wondering, n number of times I have done this gas lighting and cooking many things, but that revelation did not come every time. So that one time it came, and next time when I tried to do it consciously, it doesn't happen. It happens spontaneously. So I think it is. So that is the reason I was asking Vilas from where does it come. So then he gave me an answer of subtle intellect. So that's where all this comes up. So I don't know. This is the explanation I can give Vilas.
Good, thank you.
So that means it was already there with you. On that day, it got unlocked.
I don't know. I do think it is there in everybody. It has to just get unlocked.
No. The thing is because of prarabdha. Prayatna, one is prayatna, second is prarabdha. You have put prayatna. Prarabdha in your case, I think you have cut the prarabdha, and so that has manifested that day. So if we have more prarabdha and also our karma is prayatna is less, then it will take longer time.
Yeah, so there is also something called grace, which I feel
grace.
is very important. So one thing is everybody has it, and then you put your effort, but then you keep on putting effort so much, but then the grace will not come. If the grace doesn't come, then you will not get any experiences. So both has to happen together. That is why jnana and bhakti, devotion has to be there together.
Exactly. Yeah. I just wanted to know from Vilas here. Is it the grace, so-called bhakti or pranama or surrendering to a guru? Is it important here?
The video what you sent about R. Ganesh very clearly says that there is no need for a guru. If you were to follow Shankaracharya path,
Huh.
correct? Agree with me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So now if you go back to a guru, it's not going to actually work out, because you should know whether the guru is qualified or not, and whether you are qualified or not. So there are so many ifs and buts in that situation.
Hmm.
And right now also the jnana what I am giving is from the same guru and all that, right?
Hmm.
So you are getting unbiased knowledge, let's say. Now it is the practice which is what makes things better. So what's the practice here? I'll again repeat what I had informed Lata to do, or even I'm asking Padma Shri to do, or each one of us to do all the time. Try to do this all the time. Imagine you are in a dark room, no light, and you become the light. Don't categorize anything in the room. And that is what is awareness. If you can stay in that, you have done. You'll get exactly what I'm trying to say. If you categorize, this is a table, finished, gone, because that is mind. Mind has memories, mind has information about what it is seeing, what it is hearing, what it is touching, tasting, smelling, because it is conditioned. Conditioning means, let us be very clear, it has been told that this is what it is. So it retains the memory, it retains the object. Now consciousness doesn't have that. So you have to just look wisdom wise and see that all of these are only concept. The table and the chair and the body and this and that is all concept. So first bring it to the room level. You be that light.
But Vilas, only if you are able to see the gap between you and the mind.
Yes.
Only then you will be able to do it. Otherwise, the moment you see it, you are already identified.
Yes. So this is the practice what we need to do. So there is a gap between the mind and the consciousness. That's a practice.
Yeah. So that has to come. And then, I think even I missed one thing. So you had given me one mantra. So that I have been doing for, I don't remember, 3 months.
Yeah, you did for
So,
3 months.
and yeah. So that is when I saw the gap between. It is not that I am able to see it always, but that is when I saw the gap between myself and the mind.
Correct.
I used to tell that I could see the mind running away. So that is a first step, and then you can do awareness easily, isn't it?
Yes. True.
And then practically, if you want to do, then you have to keep on observing your mind and see what all things are coming, and then are you able to observe it unbiased and then not go behind. Sometimes you will go back, you will go behind some thoughts, sometimes you will not be able to avoid that. So you are you able to catch it, even if you have gone a little bit, then bring it back. And then if you do this practice for some time, then you will be able to see the gap, if you are able to observe it continuously. That I was doing actually. So that part I should mention. Then only this awareness will make sense. Because it simply will not come. Because the moment you see, you will identify it.
Yes, because mind
It
comes
will
to the
happen
forefront.
in a split second, it will happen.
Yes. And that gap also is seen in split second only.
Yeah. It can be seen only in split second. Sometimes you will see it only when once the mind is gone, and then you bring it back. And I think that has to be done first. The observing your, that's what I did at least. I was consciously observing my thoughts for those 3 months, what I was doing, because I was just seeing where all my mind is going and what kind of feelings are coming. And I've been continuously observing. It's not that at 24 hours I am able to do that, but then most of the time I was doing it. And then I also recognized, I listed down things, what is really affecting my mind, some 5 6 points. I don't have that book now. So then I was also taking one and then see, okay, I need to get this out and where all it comes. So at least I could identify on what triggers my mind is going where. So I did for 3 months, and then after that only this awareness started.
Lata, how long you are able to observe your mind without distraction? Because, for example, if I do any work, mind simply goes from one point to another point. Within 1 minute, focusing 1 minute without any thought is also a big challenge. So you are able to keep it for a long time, focusing on.
See, the nature of what I understood, the nature of the mind is to run away wherever it wants to.
Yes.
So you cannot stop it. You cannot fight with your mind. That I was also initially I was thinking that we have to stop and then you have to make it not thoughtless and so on. That's not possible. The nature of the mind itself, if you are breathing, the mind will run wherever it wants to. But are you aware of that running? When you're aware, and even if the thoughts are running, the moment you're aware and looking at that mind, it will stop. Immediately it will stop. It will come.
No, I'm talking about the same thing. Watching your thought is possible, maybe maximum 1 minute. After that, the watching itself you forget.
That's what I said. 24 hours you will not be able to watch, but then you should be conscious of it continuously. You have to put some effort.
But that means again and again you bring it back, awareness to your thought.
Yeah. Hey, maybe sometimes I am in some kind of discussions in some meeting, maybe 1 hour, I may not even remember. But then if I am not speaking, I'm not the one speaking, somebody else is speaking, it immediately comes. So once you train it, it will remind you or somebody will tell you. Actually, I can also feel that when my mind is running, somebody is telling me, yes, bring it back. This is not the way to think. So I think first thing is you should stop fighting with your mind. Then things will fall in place. Just observe. The moment you observe the mind, it will simply come and stand. And then once you leave, and if you are not conscious, the consciousness, you have no choice but to go with the mind. So the awareness meditation can be done once you are able to see. At least that is my experience. Able to see the gap at least once or twice. If you are able to see, then you will believe in it. Yes, this is possible. But till the time you won't believe. So once you believe, then it is easier.
Yeah, that is called a Shraddha, to be honest.
Yeah. So and initially you will not even know that is a separate you other than the mind, because mind is you all the time, most of the time. And unless and until at least once or twice if you see it, then you know, okay, this is possible. So then you will try more and more, and then the effect of it is pretty fast. You will not even believe if you are able to catch it, and if you are able to observe and find out, and then you don't have to do anything. You just have to watch. And there are some things which Vilas says I pick up. So sometimes he used to say that he was also mentioning about that corona incident in his house, and then his wife started coughing, and then so on, and then mind went off. That was actually a good input for me. So it is that from that I picked up that you should not fight with your mind. That's the way you feel it, and that's how your mind feels it. Let it be, and just observe. So some things which let's say I pick up in my practice, and then once you see, I have seen that gap many times, and then during also when I first came to know about my mother's sickness, and that gap was very evident. So it was kind of amazing to see. how I held my mind without running anywhere.
I have
Kept
experienced
my-
that while talking to you. Yes.
Yeah. So how I held it for so many days. I like that. So that was good. And just before 1 or 2 weeks before only, I was doing all this kind of awareness meditation and things like that. Maybe that helped me. So it's like so I have written down and kept, and then I was doing one by one what all I need to clean my mind off. So, but there are still many things to be cleaned off. So I know, but at least I know what exactly needs to be done, cleaned off. It will come naturally to you. So once one experience like this happens, then everything naturally happens to you, and probably that's the reason I am not getting any questions now.
I think
So,
good. Very nice.
yeah. But still, that's why my question is: even though I know, even though I have experienced, still I don't do it. So what's the reason? So the reason what Vilas has told is that because yama and niyama has not been established properly. So then you will not feel like doing it, or some obstacles will come and then do it. So then I'm trying to do that. I was taking, then he also mentioned, you take one non-violence or something as an 1 day's effort which you have to put, or some such one of that yama, and then try to implement it. So I tried it for 2-3 days, then I left. So I need to get back. So it is like still, even when you know everything, also there are so many other pulls and the things that you will not be able to do it. But still, at least I'm conscious and I'm aware of all the talks, at least whatever we are. I'm not practicing, but at least I'm aware of what's going on in my mind all the time. That much at least is there, even though I'm not doing anything. Okay, I think enough of my lecture. Vilas, over to you.
No. It was very nice. You actually gave me a break. I was just closing my eyes and doing the awareness meditation.
Okay,
My experiential sharing is very useful.
yeah.
So that is the practice. This is, see, there is no shortcut in this process. You have to either go by Shankaracharya's that sadhana chatusthaya, or you have to take yama and niyama, or whatever you want to take. You have to establish it. Then only it works. Like in the case of Lata, she had some of it, so it showed up. It showed up as a gap between the consciousness and the mind. Beautiful. Now she has seen the gap. There's no way she can forget the gap. Like another example which I gave yesterday when I was talking about mind getting stilled is that if I see anything like an electric current, like Rupa was talking and my mother-in-law talking, there is no person there. It is just that sound coming in as waves. You will see the gap. The gap here is what? The sound waves are treated like a person. That's a gap. Very simple. Now that I have seen the gap, that interest towards that will go away, including my own voice, which is coming here. The interest towards the voice goes away. Otherwise, I'll say this is my voice. It's not my voice, it's just voice, which is vibration, which is having some ampere. If you were to measure it, it has some electrical input in that, and it can transmit because there is wave, and if you really see, there is particles. Simple. So that's a gap. Same thing with the body. Now, if I see the cell structure, if I see everything in the body, there is no body. It's just a collection of cells. That's a gap. And we are seeing it. It's not that we don't know, we know it. But due to craving, we make it gross, saying that no, this is my body, and that is my wife's body, and my son's body, or daughter body, or this body, that body. So this is the gap.
Yeah, so all the techniques, whatever we are doing, whichever way we are trying to do, Jnana Marga, Bhakti Marga, Raja Yoga, anything, Buddhism, anything and everything is trying to get only these two things: seeing the gap and making the mind still automatically. You cannot
Exactly.
forcibly make it still, but
Yes.
automatically. So
Yes.
these are the all the techniques are to get to this state only.
Exactly. So, whichever route you take, whatever you take, it doesn't matter. Take what is practically to be done. So, you will get the path. If you go by belief system that, okay, you believe in me, then I will show to you, that will never happen because you have to put your own effort. There's nothing like somebody will do for you and get you that. Not possible. So, you have to choose what gets to you. But for anything to work, you require to adopt the moral value. Why? Because consciousness is moral, mind is immoral. That's all. That's the reason. And immoral mind cannot see moral consciousness. That's the obstacle. So first we have to establish yama and niyama, and then the experience will flow. So if you have not yet experienced, that means there is a problem with either yama or niyama. The tool is there with you, with password, with username, everything is there. But how to use it, you have to do it.
Yes.
So we all have to focus on yama and niyama or the sadhana chatustaya and ultimately get into vairagya. Without vairagya, you cannot stay moment by moment awareness because mind is pulling the consciousness. The gap is reduced. There is no gap because mind becomes like consciousness. With vairagya, there's huge gap between what mind thinks and what consciousness is. Huge. So now you can see the reality as is. And that is a reason a person becomes a sannyasi. Reason being, he has seen the gap. It was always there. Now he has discovered it, uncovered which was covered. Now he doesn't feel any more attached to anything. Now his work is done. That is what Bhagavad Gita or whatever scripture we have, and there ends the matter. Then this is practical guide. Instead of going through Viveka Chudamani and Bhagavad Gita and all that, which are theoretical, I thought let me share something experiential so that we all can practice. But without yama and niyama, it is not going to work.
Correct. That's true.
So yesterday, like I explained on ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha, then shaucha, santosha, tapas, swadhyaya, ishvara, pranidhana. In the true sense of it, from consciousness perspective only, not from mind perspective. We have to observe, or we have to first put that consciousness is pure, like the sun. Now, if I'm hiding something, it means mind is impure. That has to be established. If mind wants to clothe something, using the mind itself, you have to remove the clothing. Otherwise, it will not be in Satya. It will always be in Asatya. Because mind has gain and loss. Consciousness neither gains anything nor loses anything. It just is there. See, the indulging is in the mind. See, somebody wants to go somewhere and work. Why does he or she put so much of effort? Because there is happiness in the end. Doesn't understand that is only boredom in the end. No one can be happy at all. It's only boring. Yesterday, somebody had come to my home, so I told them that life equals boring. If that were not to be true, we wouldn't have found so many different professions, so many different ideas, opinions, thought process, all of that. Life is boring, so you have to keep on bringing something or the other. But once a person accepts that life is boring, something can be done to make it exciting. If life is exciting, all he gets is boredom. So, to forget loneliness, he marries, gets children, and the children will grow. And they will go to some other country or some other place, or they get married, or whatever it is. Again, boredom strikes through loneliness. And initially, also, he was lonely, and now also he is lonely. Initially, also, he was feeling bored, now also he is feeling bored. So, what is the reality? Reality is boredom. It cannot be made exciting. But once you accept that reality is boring, then it becomes very exciting. You get a lot of energy because you have accepted the reality. One who doesn't accept reality will keep on focusing on one or the other. He wants to go to that country and work. I want to go here and do this. I want to do that. I want to grow. I want to make the biggest money. I want to make the biggest home and this and that, because it's not exciting. Without that, there is no excitement. So I want to be exciting. Enjoy. So mind is like that, disregards consciousness.
Yeah.
This is the problem. So we come back and say that, okay, if that is not true, then why are so many people working? Why are we doing like this and all that? So that we want to comfort ourselves that I am not doing anything wrong. So we again come back to the majority instead of being a minority. And majority is to indulge in the senses. Because that is what he wanted or she wanted before taking birth. So they got it. Based upon their punya phala, they get whatever they want, seemingly like it is working. Papa phala, seemingly they put effort, nothing works. So everybody is putting effort. But for some people, it automatically works. For some people, no matter what they do, it doesn't work. And that is the phala, that is the fruit of action. But if we accept to boredom, irrespective of whether it is a punya phala, papa phala, it works beautifully. Now he has cut out the prarabdha karma. The richest of the richest person also feels bored. The poorest of the poorest person also will feel bored. The richest of the richest person will have to sleep. The poorest of the poorest also has to sleep. In sleep, he doesn't remain rich or poor. In the deep sleep, the poor person will not remain poor or rich. And in the deep sleep, nobody is intelligent, nobody is dumb, nobody is having Nobel Prize, or this one owns a yacht, he owns entire one country itself, it doesn't matter. And one person who doesn't have anything also doesn't matter. If they both go to sleep, they cannot say anything at all, because At that time, the senses and sense object not being there, mind cannot make out anything. Even though the mind exists, consciousness takes over. Case closed. And that knowledge, if we were to apply while waking, all the dualities will go away and becomes a Dvaita. America and India exist during waking. Let's go to sleep. Nobody exists. Even the person sleeping next to my body also doesn't exist. Because I myself don't exist, there is no question of anybody else existing.
So in Sushupti, is it equivalent to deep sleep, or you are still able to see the world?
Shushupti meaning in English is deep sleep.
No, I'm talking about in the Jagrata Avastha. That is okay. During deep sleep, Sushupti, I agree. But when you are in Jagrata Avastha doing meditation, you can achieve Sushupti, right?
Yes.
That time, you are able to see the world,
No,
or
no, you
it is
will not.
equivalent to just deep sleep.
It's equivalent to deep sleep. And that becomes Turiya.
Then it comes back on its own.
Then it comes back on it. So when you come back on your own, you are no longer attached to it. That's the beauty of that.
So the experience what Lata had is Sushupti experience, or it is just awareness experience?
It's just awareness. Awareness is a starting point to go to the into the Turiya state.
Uh-huh. Because in Sadhguru was telling, he is able to manage his life just 1 hour sleep, 30 minutes sleep, and he is fresh. And how he is able to get that? Through that awareness or through Sushupti?
No, when you start awareness meditation, close your eyes, it takes you to this Shushupti. So each hour spent there in Shushupti will be like 5-6 hours of sleep.
Oh.
So you don't require sleep after that.
Your physical body is also taken care of with that energy.
Because there is no physical body at all. That is the fun part of it. Physical body disappears. Have you observed that even in dream state, your physical body is not there?
Yeah, correct.
So the physical body doesn't exist. It's a madness to think that physical body needs rest. It is already in rested state.
So rest is given only for mind?
Yes, rest is only for the mind.
So when we have this full day, say the meetings, in between when we get, say, 15 minutes break and all that, now we just go around, talk to people and all that. Instead, you can just sit and meditate, because now it's a good time. You are at home.
Yeah, that's the reason I told people also put a timer of 10 minutes.
Yes.
And count the breath. You will immediately enter into that state. Count the out breath only. Don't count the in breath.
Yes.
That's a beautiful exercise. Your mind will stop.
I used to do that during stress time. That means too much of meeting, a lot of thinking. I think I should do it on a daily basis. 10 minutes. Yeah.
And you can see the change. Your entire physiology, which is the body, will change. Because it just depicts the state of the mind. If your mind is happy, your body is happy. If the mind is bad, your body also has some kind of ailments, pain, aches, and all that.
That will also help that physical exercise, what we are thinking that we should do daily basis 45 minutes or 1 hour walking and all that.
Yes, you do that by watching the breath.
That is required. Still, that is required, or that also
Yes,
can
that
be
is
minimized
required.
with
No,
this?
that is very much required because you are burning away or you are removing excess vata and tapa and all that, which is there in the body.
That is for physical body.
That's only for removing the vata, pitta, kapha. If we take, it's nothing but the 5 elements. There's excess 5 elements. It is going to get eliminated. That's all.
Mhm.
Okay. Whereas when you are doing yogasana at present, let us say, and then you observe the breath and do it, you will have much more profound experience than just stretching the body.
Okay, a physical for the body and meditation for the mind.
Correct.
Both are important.
Both are important.
Okay, good.
All right. So we meet tomorrow.
Sure.
Okay. All right, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Okay,
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thanks, Vilas.